All right, we are at this is side B, um our virtual interactive conference, and today we have Apostle Wilson from Kenya. So, man of God, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell my listeners a little bit about yourself, and we're going to discuss that short film, The Fall. Wait a moment, it's called America's Collapse is Coming for Black People, but I call it The Fall of Black America. So, anyway, man of God, tell my listeners a little bit about yourself, about your ministry, and then we're going to get into the topic.
Thank you very much for
We
giving me.
can't hear you.
Thank you very much for this beautiful opportunity.
Yes. Sorry, man of God, cut up your volume. We can't hear you.
I say thank you very much for having this great opportunity to be here in this studio, and I'm very much overjoyed to work together with President Manuel Babi of this vision. So me here, I base here, inside here.
Sorry, Apostle Wilson. You got to speak louder and maybe move your phone a little bit away from you so we can hear it. Yeah, having a hard time, hearing you.
You hear me?
A little bit. That's a little better.
Okay. Thank you. Shalom.
Yes.
I am Apostle Wilson Kwasi, and I reside here in Kenya, working with Rivers Life Fire Ministry here in Nairobi. So, followed God, President, in this platform was I received joy, partner this the ministry for the change of
Just sorry, man of God. I'm sorry. Do you have headphones or something that you can use, because you're sounding so low, it's so hard to hear you, and it's not going to be effective. I want my listeners to hear you loud and clear. So we want to make sure that we're getting this thing right. Sorry, but I have to tell you that. Do you have access to earplugs or something so that way we can hear you louder and things like that?
You hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. You got to keep it right there if you don't mind. Just hold your phone like that.
Thank you very much. All this.
Yes.
I best
Yes, sir.
work the river.
Because I'm having a very hard time hearing you, and so that's what the devil wants. He wants to try to make us look unprofessional and all that stuff. But hey, we trying the best we can. I'd be reaching out to Black Americans to come on this platform. A lot of them don't want to come on here, so hey, it is what it is. I'll reach out to brothers and sisters that's on the continent without shame. But my thing is, I want to get this business, Black Christian business popping here in the city of Chicago, first and foremost, for credibility. So that way I can bring my Christian business to the African continent to create jobs for GCAM members first. And I will hire Apostle Wilson in Kenya, in terms of us being business partners, and for him to help manage the spiritual component of the Christian business, GCAI of Kenya, when we set it up over there. Man of God, I understand. Don't feel bad. It's technical difficulties and all that kind of stuff. But I'm grateful again to have you on here holding it down with me. And I know I'm not by myself. And my goal is listeners, from all of my listeners that's around the globe, all I'm asking you to do is please purchase my ebook. This book is available as an ebook for $9.99. Read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, specifically Black Chicago, then you will automatically become a GERCAM member. And with that, that's going to come with benefits. You're going to be part of our Black empowerment films. You know what I'm saying? And the whole purpose of me doing all of this stuff is to help our Black youth that's trapped in American ghettos, or quote unquote, the low income Black community, to help keep our youth out of off the streets and out of gangs, for them to use their talents and skills productively through our film projects. So that way, that'll put me in a better position financially through the business to give them stipends for being in our film, so that way they can feed their families. Ladies and gentlemen, instead of sitting up here complaining about the white man and complaining about the government. That's all I've been trying to do for the past 34 years. It's very sickening. It's unacceptable. And I refuse to sit up here and be ignored when I got something positive I'm trying to build. But I can't do this stuff on my own. It takes capital. So that's how come I'm saying purchase the book, please. So that way, that's going to put me in a better position financially, as well as buy items from our virtual store. We sell t-shirts like what I'm wearing now, different types of posters, coffee mugs, things like that. In order for us to generate capital, that's going to help put me in a better position financially, so that way I can hire Black people, African people, and others. That's what businesses are all about. I'm trying to sell something productive. Unfortunately, the dope man has more support from the Black community than me, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. That dope is destroying our families. It's destroying the Black community. And that's what the devil wants in the first place. But hey, it is what it is. We have choices. So at this point in time in the game, Black America has two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. I am here to work with those that want to survive. Those that become GERCAM members are the only ones that I am responsible for. Man of God, I know that you have things that you would like to say, but now he's been dropped, but that's okay. It's a drop call. But I'm going to speak on his behalf. Apostle Wilson is welcome to leave a comment, in the comment section below. Tell people about your ministry and all that stuff. And I'm going to put something down there as well, so that way that people can support what you're doing, man of God. Those that come on my platform, especially as important as what we're doing now, when we're holding these virtual interactive conferences, after the show, I'm going to offer them incentives. I would teach my panelists how to create their own, as well as guest speakers that come on my show too, outside of the virtual interactive conference. Whoever appears on this platform with me, I offer them incentives by teaching them how to create their own podcasts, how to create their own YouTube channel and get it monetized, as well as how to create their own Wix website. So that way they can launch their online business or launch their online ministries. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody that's on my friends list on, I would say, Facebook, I would say on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X. You're welcome to come on this platform with me, but all I ask is that you send me your email address to the various inboxes that I'm on. And so I would send you information about the protocol about being on this platform with me. And we can take it from there. Those of you that do not know how to use, I would say, StreamYard or Zoom, I'm willing to teach you. Because that's important. That's how you're going to be able to get on this platform with me. So that's all I'm saying. Wow. Okay, let's see. I think he's back. Yep. All right, Apostle Wilson, do you have any specific questions that you would like to ask?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. I want to ask you your mission and the vision that you have for the youth of Black America, because once they can take steps, how will you help the Black America youth over there with this
Okay, so I'll do the best I can to interpret what you said, but man of God, also, if you don't mind, because I really, we have over here on StreamYard, I thank God again for this technology. Can you just write down your comments or what you wanted to say? Because I had a very hard time hearing what you were saying. So if you look on your screen, it would say something about the comments. So in the comment section, write what you was just asked me, because I didn't understand it because your volume is too low. Don't feel bad. It is what it is. We have these technical difficulties. But I am going to try to assume, I'm guessing what you was trying to ask me is how can I get Black youth, like involved in this business and things like that. Well, one way how I'm gonna get Black youth involved is to get this Christian business into the low-income Black community. That's how we're going to get people involved, especially our Black youth, because after all, this is to serve them and their families. I wanted this business to connect, and I want this the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago to make our presence known in the low-income Black community on the west side of Chicago. First, we're going to cover Austin Garfield Park and North Lawndale, and then eventually we're going to expand to the south side of Chicago with the help of, I would say, African immigrants, as well as Black Americans who become GRCAM members, because that's who this business is for in the first place, especially Black Americans who identify as DAS-FM. That stands for Descendants of American Slaves / Freedmen. That's the descendants I'm from. I'm just trying to help my own people first for credibility before I expand it over to the African continent. So, man of God, please, can you write down your questions in the comment section so that way I can read it and that'll make things a little more effective for us while we're on this platform. If you can do that for me. Also, man of God, I would like for you to leave your information about your ministry in the comment section, so that way when people watch the replay, they can, I would say, maybe feel compassion to send a donation to your ministry, connect with you directly, sending you information and things like that. So that's very important. Can you do that for me, man of God, please? write down in the comment section. And if you're having a hard time doing it on here, then post it on my YouTube page in the comment section. Write your information so that way people can find you, how they can find you on Facebook and your ministry. Again, it's not about me doing all this stuff, just trying to make $1 selling a book. This book is the foundation of my Christian business, the grassroots community activist movement, GERCAM. And people that buy my book, and if they agree with the vision and plan, will automatically become a GERCAM member. You don't even have to live in the United States. You could download that book to your smartphone, again, for $9.99. Also, I'm going to have the link to this book. It's available on Amazon in 2 forms, like I say, as an ebook for $9.99. And this is the softcover book that I'm holding right now. It's available for $15 plus shipping and handling, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to have the link, the Amazon link, in the comment section below this video podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And what I like to do on my platform is for people to come on here and you can talk directly to me. You know what I'm saying? If you want to sit up here and debate me, challenge me, go ahead. You want to roast me, fine. But at the end of the day, I'm standing on Black business, point blank. That's what I'm called to do. That's what Jesus/Joshua has called me to do. And I'm going to carry that out to the fullest. The only thing that's holding me back is the lack of the finances. And also, I don't have my management team in place. So that's all I'm trying to build, to get the ball rolling. So I'm calling upon African immigrants from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. Please stand up. Help me, first and foremost, help me get my revised book on that bestsellers list. Read my story for yourself. Reason why I'm reaching out to you all is because it was my ancestors, descendants of American slaves, are the ones that fought and died during the civil rights era to allow you all to be able to come here. You all meaning African immigrants, Afro-Caribbeans, to come to the United States of America, as well as non-white immigrants as well. Do the research. And so all I'm saying, it was them that made it possible for you all to try to reach your American dream. The problem I'm having a hard time connecting with my own lineage, because Black Americans is affected by this slave mentality. And that's what we want to help end. That's why it's a lot of dysfunction that's going on in the Black community, because of this slave mentality, all of this disunity and all that stuff. So through my Christian business, that's what we're going to help try to solve. Those that want more out of life, that's the only people I'm working with. We want to we want to raise the bar in Kyle, Chicago, by separating ourselves from, I would say, con artists, hardened criminals, degenerates, pedophiles, urban terrorists. We want to separate ourselves from those type of people and work with those that want more out of life, not just sitting up here running off at the mouth. That's all I'm trying to do with this business. Our mission is to help eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, as well as hosting African tours. We're going to visit those 10 African nations in due time, once I get the business popping here in Chicago first, for credibility. And in each African nation that we visit, we want to set up local chapters, so that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent. So Black Americans are going to heal in this business. Black Americans is going to heal from that slave mentality. African immigrants is going to heal from that colonized mindset. We're going to learn, Black Americans and African immigrants, we're going to learn how to respect each other's culture, how to do business together, and we want to replicate the business on the African continent. Very important, ladies and gentlemen, especially in this day and age. The Trump administration is going to get involved with World War III. So things is going to get worse, especially for Black Americans. Man of God, I don't see anything that you've written yet. So, like I say, if you're not able to do that on your phone, please do that when I upload this video, okay? Very important, man of God, that you let my listeners know how they can find your ministry and how they can find you on Facebook. I'm very grateful that you for your time that you're coming on here. People such as yourself, I will respect. And once I get my film project fully funded and made, because that's the main goal of us doing all of this in the first place, ladies and gentlemen. Once I get this film project fully funded and made, the proceeds from the film is going to put me in a better position financially, so that way I can purchase property here in the city of Chicago, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle-class professionals, hire African immigrants, and for us to build the best Black business within the United States of America, and that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm trying to do, and I'm standing on business. And again, I want you all to put me on blast. Let everybody know, and I want the whole Black world to know this story, what I went going through and what, I'm trying to do for my people that's trapped in American ghettos. And my vision, again, goes beyond the ghettos. Again, I have an African plan. Again, when I come to Africa, I don't want to come to Africa empty-handed, just running off at the mouth, and for you to just see me, oh, look at Emmanuel Barbie. Look at Emmanuel Barbie. It's not about Emmanuel Barbie. It's about us learning how to work together. Melanated people, those, just because they're melanated now, because urban terrorists, they're melanated, we want to separate ourselves because our Black leaders here in America, they're in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. That's how come Black Americans isn't getting anywhere, in terms of all this voting and all that stuff. We have to break away from all that stuff. This business represents the Black grassroots. And again, without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, I'm unable to do my job. Point blank, ladies and gentlemen. All right, man of God, I see that you wrote some stuff. Yes. Write down the name, how they can find you on Facebook, though. Like the they call it HTTP : whatever. But anyway, write down how they can find your page on Facebook. And I'm gonna make sure that even if you don't do it, I do it myself. Try to help you out. On my YouTube page, I put it there in the comment section below, in the comment section below this video podcast. But ladies and gentlemen, listen to side A first, please. Again, because I don't want to just be repetitious saying the same thing. I already was on there for about 2 hours? You know what I'm saying? But I am not on here playing games. Our children are dying, and American society don't care. That's why We have to get this film project fully funded and made. So that way, that's going to help speed up the process so I can move this thing faster. And I thank God for this technology. And again, I only want to work with those that's on business, not just want to sit up here and run off at the mouth. I have receipts. You know what I'm saying? I've been paying for my business title since 2010, 16 years. I'm basically wasting money. But I believe in what the Lord Jesus Christ placed in my heart to do. And I believe that this is going to come to pass in my lifetime. And I want to make sure that this is going to be the film project is going to be effective and successful. You know what I'm saying? So yes, so what's going on with Apostle Wilson? He's trying to stay on here, but because of the technology and stuff, bad reception. So we're going to improve those things in my business. Also, I want to mention too that if you become a GRCAM member, let's say, for example, you are an artist, let's say a musician, you're going to have an opportunity to promote your music in our films. You'll be able to promote if you're an artist. What the benefits of being a member of GRCAM is that you will be able to promote your music in our films, in our stage plays, and also at our live events. I'm just saying, we're going to make sure we help our own. Those that's not going to support us, we ain't going to support them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the advantage. And again, for our Black youth and African youth, that's going to be members, that their families and things like that. The opportunity is that, again, you're going to be involved in our Black empowerment films. So that's the advantage. And again, I recommend that you all listen to Side A. That's the stuff I talked about on yesterday. So watch that whole video so that way you'll have a better understanding, because I go into details, ladies and gentlemen. And I do all of that stuff so that way I don't want people to say, oh man, this sounds like a scam. And if anybody think that this is a scam, my advice to you is to delete me off your friends list and don't come to no events with my name on it, and don't change your mind, because I ain't changing mine. And that's real. All I have is a book, ladies and gentlemen. And I stand on this book. This is the foundation of my Christian business, first and foremost. All of the principles in the book is the code for GRCAM members. You know what I'm saying? And again, I have a virtual store. I sell, like I say, t-shirts, which is what I'm wearing now. So t-shirts, beach towels, posters. So I have those things, but it has the logo of, the book. But now I'm trying to do a film, and my film project is my last attempt, because my critics keep trying to tell me that, oh, Emmanuel, you should leave that stuff alone. You've been doing this for so long. You're a failure, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. I'm saying, you lying wonder. Do not talk to me, and we will remain strangers for life. Anybody come to me like that, that's how it is with me. I don't keep my enemies around me. They say you're supposed to keep your enemy close. If you get under my skin, I cut you out of my life, and we strangers for life, point blank. That's how I get down. Because I'm focused on trying to do what Jesus / Joshua called me to do. And I know the power of God. He can make this happen. And again, I give him all the credit and glory because he's the one that gave me this vision, and I claim ownership of it. And that's how it is over here. I do want to mention though, since yes, I have, it says 30 minutes now I've been on here. So I'm gonna try to wrap it up. But please, ladies and gentlemen, listen to side A. That was the first I would say my audio podcast. Let me just call it that. Watch that first so that way you'll understand all of this stuff, because I don't want to be repetitious. I'm trying to be mindful of people's time. But again, I'm going to keep holding down these virtual monthly conferences until we get this film project fully funded and made. We're trying to raise $250,000, ladies and gentlemen. That 92% of Black women that voted hard for Kamala Harris, that they raised $1 million within 3 hours using Zoom. And I talk about that, on the first part of this conversation. And I back it up because I have sources, I present my information. If you listen to the whole thing, just be patient. Yes, it's a lot of information, but yes, this is a very serious topic about America's collapse. It's coming for Black people. It's coming for other people, but especially Black people, because like I say, Black women, 92% of them, I'm just going there, voted for Kamala Harris and raised $1 million. If they would use, Black women would use that same energy, because I have a lot of Black women that's on my friends list. If they would use that same energy to help raise the capital for this film project, we can make an impact in the Black community. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I'm trying to do. And I want to replicate the business on the African continent. So I got to make it, I have to make it here in America, because this is where I'm at. And then I want to use my, I would say, what my quote unquote fame and all that stuff, the knowledge that I have, I want to use that to help improve the African economy. Ladies and gentlemen. So it's very important for the global African family to get involved. All I'm asking you to do is buy my book, read it. And if you agree with my vision and plan, make arrangements with me to come on this platform so we can get others to get involved, to help move or help get the ball rolling. I don't want to be stagnant another 34 years talking about this, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to challenge me, go right ahead. Ain't no shame, because I'm standing on business. I'm standing on Black business. Now, I do want to say FBA, Foundational Black Americans, yes, they're part of our lineage, but they're under Tariq Nasheed's camp. I respect the brother and all that stuff, and I try to reach out to him and all that stuff because we're saying the same language. You know what I'm saying? It's all about lineage. But the problem I have with him is that he's embracing, voodoo, or if he's not calling it voodoo, hoodoo, but either way it goes, that goes against my spiritual beliefs and all that stuff. So that's an issue. However, they're still part of the lineage. But then the problem too is, FBA, they just want to sit on the internet all day. I would say going back and forth, arguing with African immigrants and Afro Caribbeans, and that's not productive. So, and yeah, they get a lot of clicks and likes and all that stuff. We're not about that over here. What I mean by over here on the grassroots community activist movement, we're not about that. We're about building. And I ain't gonna have that in my real business neither. Confusion and diaspora wars. We're not having that. We're about building. We want to build constructive things. Again, part of our business is going to be a for-profit sector. That's where I'm going to make my bread and butter. We're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing, because everybody needs food, healthcare, and shelter. And that's a business too, but I'm just saying, because I don't like sitting up here begging people for donations and stuff like that. They act like, they all that, and, like you have to be on your knees and kissing up and all that garbage. But that's how come I'm saying that's why we're going to have two sectors, a for-profit business and also a nonprofit. The nonprofit, I go into details and stuff about that. Please watch our my first episode of this, the topic. So that way you can understand what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. I had another person that was supposed to come on, but I think she's having some technical difficulties as well. But I'm going to still give a shout out to that sister because she still tried. Her name is Daria from Zambia. So shout out to that sister. She was trying to come on here. And, she was having some technical difficulties, but it is what it is. Again, I try to get Black Americans to come on this platform, especially when I hold it down once a month. It's every last Saturday of the month. So some people say, oh, you should let me know. I let you know all the time because that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? So, if a person don't come on, hey, that's on them. But what I'm trying to say is that you can still participate in this platform by watching the replay and leaving a comment in the comment section. And most of all, share it. Put me on blast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to do something positive. So when people trying to do stuff positive, you don't sit up here and, suppress that. Because when people are doing bad things, they always want to elevate them. That's, that's the way of this world works, unfortunately. But I want to make sure none of my members have to endure this type of foolishness that I'm experiencing. Yes, a lot of people, that's why a lot of Black businesses go out of business, because they don't get the support. Why? Because Black Americans, because of that slave mentality, want to sit up here and I would say they spend money with other groups that don't even like us. But then you don't want to support your own. But now things are going to get worse because once the Democrats get right back in office, they're going to open up those borders again, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just saying. And we're going to be right back like we were before the Trump administration came in office. I'm going to say like we were back in 2024. And that is having they're going to dump a lot of these illegal immigrants in the Black community or the Black neighborhoods. And they're going to want to compete for resources. That's what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of those people that's coming from Latin America, they have anti-black sentiments because they're racist in their own country. You know what I'm saying? So they're not coming here to ally. They're coming here to compete against Black Americans and eventually dominate. So I'm just saying, this is a very, you need to, now back in the 90s, we were in the era of warnings. Today, we are in the era of consequences. So those are the consequences. 34 years, God is my witness. I've been pushing this thing for the longest. And now what I'm saying is coming to pass. I don't want to say, oh, I was right and Black America should have did this and that. We need to jump on this stuff right now, ASAP. Read my story. Those that agree, cool. I wrote my book in the first place is to recruit brave and smart people that's going to help me run this business. Because I can't do everything. That's just part one of it. What I've written is only half of my knowledge. But again, it is what it is. But want to get it popping here in America first, bring it over to the African continent. So that way, I can do the same thing, replicate the business, and I wanted to move fast. And at least 5 African nations in my lifetime. That's all I'm saying. So I hope and pray that the Spirit of God will reveal himself. Bless me with the capital so I can do my job. Connect me with the right people, Lord. I didn't ask for this. I wrote that in the book. So this is I'm compelled to do this now. But again, I don't want to die in America. I want to bring my business to the African continent. This is why, again, I'm reaching out to the global African family that's in Canada, Europe, in the Caribbean, and across the African continent. Please help get my ebook on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world can take our cause serious. My goal, again, is to make Chicago a model. That's why we want to get it popping here in Chicago first. I turn the business over to my management team. Well, I'm going to call them my advisory board / resource, my resource team. So that way they can carry out what my vision and plan without me having to physically be there all the time. That's what I'm trying to do. So that way I don't be just bogged down with, being here in Chicago. Because once we get it popping here, I want to replicate the business starting in South Africa when I go over there. And I want to make sure that Sister Renee is going to be well taken care of, because that sister had my back for the past 14 years. And I wish I had other people like her that was on my team working with me, but it is what it is. God give us free will. That's all I can say. It doesn't matter how bad I would like to get this business up and running. It's up to the Black grassroots and the global African family. The ball is in their court. For us to get this film project fully funded and made, it's up to them. I'm doing all I can do humanly possible. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not reading the script, because when I'm on here, I read my script when I do side A, because it's a lot of material. And I read my script without shame because I want to stay focused on what I'm saying. But when I do side B, that's what this is here. And I'm giving you an opportunity to come on here, to get on this platform and talk with me directly, I'm here. Let's make that happen. That's why I say you can debate me. I opened it up for Q&A, but I'd like to try to have my I'd like to have my panelists, to be a part of this, so that way it's not about me just doing all the talking. I want to give other people's perspectives and stuff like that. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude side B. We're going to do this again in March. Let me look and see, because, like I say, this was our last virtual conference for March. So in April, please mark your calendars. We're going to do this again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep doing this until we get this film project fully funded and made. And again, I do it like this to be on the video podcast because I'm documenting what I'm trying to do. You can't sit up here and say, oh, Emmanuel, you're not doing this and that. I'm trying. However, I'm on a shoestring budget. I can't be running around the country. And plus, I'm not running for public office. We're trying to build this business from the mud. You know what I'm saying? This is grassroots for real. So April 25th, that's going to be our next virtual interactive conference. And it's going to start at 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep doing this until we get this film project fully funded and made. Because I want us to take this to the next level. And again, I'm trying to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans beyond Chicago, brave and smart, like-minded African immigrants across the United States of America. Make yourself known to me. Don't wait until I'm dead. I'm trying to get this thing popping while I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing on Black business. Ladies and gentlemen, and again, this is for credibility before I bring this business over to the African continent. With that being said, peace and blessings. That's going to conclude our show for today.